What's the fourth way that I can wreck my retirement?
Ignoring your health. So for the typical retiree, healthcare is the second biggest expense after housing. And then housing usually goes down for people because they've paid off their mortgage. Healthcare is the one expense that goes up throughout retirement. And we're all going to need a little bit of it. But the truth is, a lot of healthcare spending is the result of lifestyle choices. Smoking, poor diet, not exercising enough. That actual figure is debatable. I remember during the Obamacare debates when John Mackey, the CEO of Whole Foods and a member of the Motley board, wrote an article for the Wall Street Journal implying that 70% of healthcare spending was due to lifestyle choices. It's probably somewhat controversial, but the point is there's a lot of stuff we can do to improve our health. What happens if you have health conditions in retirement? Well, here's another stat from Kaiser. So just as an example, someone who has no chronic conditions, on average, they spend about $4,000 a year for healthcare. That includes Medicare premiums and then out-of-pocket stuff. 1 to 2 conditions, that jumps up to $4,600. 3 to 4 conditions, $5,600. 5 conditions more, $6,100. So it's kind of obvious, right? The more health problems you have, the more you're going to spend in retirement. But healthcare issues are the number one unpredictable big-ticket expense that derails people's retirement.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm happy you brought up healthcare and housing costs specifically, because I find a lot of retirees work so hard kind of as they're transitioning to retirement, saying, okay, I want to pay off my mortgage. I don't want that expense. I want to own my home. And then certainly once this expense hits of healthcare they didn't pre-plan for, that's really undoing what they just did, right? And they have to tap the home equity. And, that's something that makes them uncomfortable than whether they just plan for it over the long term leading up to retirement. So I have a stat here from Fidelity. It says 3/4 of couples listed being able to afford unexpected healthcare costs in retirement as their top concern moving to retirement, but only 22% factored in their financial plan.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to worry about it, but why am I going to do anything to actually
exactly.
fix the problem? Yeah.
So, I think that's, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Right.
So, it hurts. And the best part about that is you may never use it and you're just richer than you thought you would be. Right.
So that's the financial component. The other part is just being happy.
Yes.
And we've referenced before a study from AgeWave and Merrill Lynch that asked retirees 50 and older, what's the number one determinant of a happy retirement? And 81% said health. That was the number one. So 58% said financial well-being, but that wasn't number one. Number one was being healthy. And it's kind of obvious. It's hard to enjoy your golden years if you're in bed, if you're in pain, if you can't get out and do the things you want to do.
Yeah, this is, I'm going to butcher my mom's story, but she was a hospice and a home health nurse. And she's a very optimistic, happy woman. And I think she was talking to one of her patients, her hospice patients. Oh, isn't this wonderful? You've had a life surrounded by friends. Isn't this great? And basically the person responds probably rather dryly, like, you don't have anything if you don't have your health. It was basically just this idea of like, yeah, friends are nice, but I'd rather have my health.
Yeah. Since you brought that up, that was actually number 3 on that AgeWave Merrill Lynch study, that 36% of people said having friends and family around is the number one determinant. But if you're in a lot of pain and they're around, it's probably harder to enjoy their company.
Yeah, no kidding.